Victory on the Toyota Dealer 400 sees Nissan's Janelle de Villiers and Francois Jordan move 2 points ahead in the ABSA Off-Road Production Vehicle Championship, while Atang Mageghaneni and Bucks Carolyn romped to victory in the Total Jimco and clinched the ABSA Off-Road Special Vehicle Championship with 1 race to go. And rookie Gavin Cronje and co-driver Robin Houghton finally score a maiden Class E win in the Castrol Toyota Hilux 2.7i.
The South African Off-Road Championship is proudly brought to you by ABSA. Speak to ABSA first for fast, flexible vehicle finance. We can also structure an asset finance solution to suit your business needs. It's really never been easier.
Lydenburg, which is situated in a fertile valley between the Steenkampsberg Mountains and the Mausberg on the Mpumalanga Escarpment, played host for the second time to the Toyota Dealer 400, the 7th round of the ABSA Off-Road Championship. Lydenburg was one of several republics established in the Transvaal because of dissension among the early Voortrekker leaders about the destiny of their followers north of the Vaal River. The area was the scene of many battles during the Anglo-Boer War in the 1800s, and the peace would again be shattered as 55 contenders for overall and class victory and championship honours converged on the town to do battle in the penultimate round of the championship. The SAM organised event featured a new section in the Steenkampsberg, and competitors were expected to complete 2 laps of a tortuous 199-kilometre route on Saturday, as well as a 36-kilometre prologue in the Quena Basin area on Friday. With the Class T entry down to 3 cars, a decision was taken by Nissan to switch 2 GBS racing entries and the BB Auto Nissan of Arnold du Plessis to Class T to ensure that they scored maximum points to ward off the threat posed by Mark Cronje and Chris Birkin in the Class D Castrol Toyota Hilux 2.7i. The facilities and hospitality offered by Lydenburg Toyota was second to none, and the indoor scrutineering area offered everyone some respite from the searing heat. And while talking of heat, tensions were reaching meltdown point in some classes, where a good result would be critical for those with championship aspirations. The Production Vehicle Championship has been a closely fought affair all year, with Nissan dominating the top placings and Ford and Toyota waiting in the wings for either Cox, de Villiers or Frobler to falter. Former Production Vehicle champions Neil Woolridge and Ken Scholthammer have not managed an overall win in the Team Ford Racing Ranger this season, but consistent performances place them in a position, with 2 races to go, where they can still win the championship.
It's been an exciting year, and you know, we've got 2 races left to go, and there's anyone that can win. And when I say anyone, I think there's 1 of 4 people that can win it, so it is very exciting. I think today, well, this weekend is going to be the telling one. Whoever falters here is going to be in trouble for the rest of the championship. For us, really exciting is to see the development team lying second in Class E on their first year of racing. It's fantastic, and yeah, they have a shot at winning the championship as well in their Class E car, but you know, even to finish second, they've had a fantastic year and done really well.
Reigning Class E champions Mark Cronje and Chris Birkin are locked in battle for the Class D championship with Alfie Cox and Ralph Pitchford.
Alfie's had a really good run up to now, and all the odds have been in his favour. It can't continue that way, and we're hoping that to swing our way. And if he has a small problem, we have a shot at the overall and the class championship.
Hugo and Jaap de Bruin have dominated Class E this season, but are under threat from a number of crews, including Hein Grobler and Cecil Fincham.
The race is quite tough. We're going to take it easy and try to finish at least. And if we could win the class, it will be even better. We need to win the next 2 races, this race and the next race, and finish within the 7 cars at front. So we hope it will be good, and we'll finish good and win the class.
The Special Vehicle Championship may appear to have been wrapped up by Mageghaneni and Carolyn, but there are 4 crews who can still win the title if the Total Jimco pair falter in the remaining 2 events. Gegeghaneni has been the class act in the special vehicle category this season, winning 3 events overall, with 2 of the victories shared with former special vehicle champion Brooks Carolyn.
Tangani needs 2 points to get the championship, so I don't want him to go too slowly because then he's going to make a mistake. So we're going to race to try and get a very good result. I'm quite a bit behind, but if we get a good result, we can clean it up today, or tomorrow rather. That's the plan.
After a slow start to the season, former Class B champions Marcus Taylor and Mark de Chalane have finally got their campaign underway.
I think the championship is still open. Adrie can still win it. I mean, it all depends on how Marcus does, you know. And he had a good run out of the past 2 races, so we'll hang in there. If he makes a mishap, then we're going to be there, either Adrie or me.
And we're there. Well, I've been leading the first half of the season, but now Marcus had a good run for 2 events. He passed us all, but me and Gil is there. We're sitting in behind and just waiting for him to make a mistake. But our championship depends on him.
Zane Noble and Richard Hope have all but wrapped up the Class S championship in the Abe's Furniture Race Co. The Budfontein Boeresal in the Kwena Basin area was the base for the 36-kilometre prologue, and RP Reineker's Castrol Toyota Land Cruiser, with Andrew Birkin at the wheel, was used to check the route, which promised to be fast but dusty. Dust is an ever-present problem in off-road racing, so a good starting position is vitally important. Crews made last-minute preparations before heading out to do battle. The special vehicle category had the makings of a dogfight, with Brandon Harkis making his debut in the new Corvette LS1 V8-powered single-seater Bat, which is destined to be raced by him in the SCORE Championship in the United States next season.
3 events.
Janelle de Villiers and Francois Jordan posted the fastest time in the proudly South African Nissan hardbody, completing the 36-kilometre course in 28 minutes versus the 28 minutes and 7.8 seconds of teammates and production vehicle championship leaders Hannes Frobler and Richard Leek. Frobler and Leek are the #1 seeded crew and have the privilege of starting first on the prologue, which is not always ideal, as they have to be the pathfinders, which makes it easier for crews starting behind them. Walridge and Scholthammer were 3rd fastest in the Team Ford Racing Ranger and 1 minute and 44 seconds behind the leading Nissan. Castrol Toyota pair Mark Cronje and Chris Birkin took the fight to their Class D Ford and Nissan rivals and came out on top, which augured well for the main race. They qualified 4th, 11 seconds ahead of Manfred Schroeder and Jack Peckham in the Team Ford Racing Ranger. The KwaZulu-Natal cane farmers have not had the best of seasons and were hoping to finish the year on a high note, but would have to fend off a determined Alfie Cox and Ralph Pitchford in the Arnold Schatz Cars Nissan hardbody, who were only 9 seconds off the pace. The Nissan crew is one of 4 that is in line to win the coveted Production Vehicle Championship, provided, of course, that they win their class and finish as high up in the overall placings as possible on the Toyota Dealer 400 and the Carnival City 400. Reigning Class D champions Hein Grobler and Gerard Prinsloo were not in the running for the championship, and along with teammates JP Augustine and Rulle van Heerden, willingly entered their GBS Racing Nissan in Class T to ensure that Nissan scored maximum points in the championship. They were almost a minute slower than Cox in the prologue. Class D winners on the Nissan Dealer 400, Paolo Piazza Musso and Rod Herring, were 8th fastest in the Class D Castrol Toyota Hilux 2.7i and only 5 seconds slower than Grobler and Prinsloo. Rookie Gavin Cronje and mentor and multiple co-drivers champion Robin Houghton outqualified the rest of the Class E field in the Castrol Toyota Hilux 2.7i and would start 18 seconds ahead of their KwaZulu-Natal-based teammates Zane Pierce and Henny Vosloo. Father and son, Cliff and Louis Weichelt, rounded out the top 10 after a good run in the Bosel N1 4x4 Toyota Hilux, which, unlike the factory-entered Castrol Toyotas, is fitted with a V6 engine. Nissan dominated the prologue as they had done all season, while Class D had the makings of a tremendous battle and Class E turned out to be an all-Toyota affair. The battle lines were drawn in the special vehicle category and Brandon Harkis emerged on top by a whopping 1 minute and 22 seconds after the first skirmish. The Corvette LS1 V-powered Bat was certainly the machine to beat. That performance certainly got her attention. Frikkie Botha and Blackie Swart have got the Lexus V8-powered Procoat Gymco sorted out at last and managed to qualify second despite this incident, which cost them some time. Championship leaders Mekhekeneni and Carolyn were happy to settle for third in the Corvette LS1 V8-powered Total Gymco and let the other contenders fight for position. Class A has developed into a horsepower war, with teams constantly raising the performance of their vehicles, and quite where it will all end, no one knows. Last year's Toyota Dealer 400 winners, Mark Corbett and Jean Moore, put the cut brake on the Audi V8-powered Century Property Developments back to good use around this tricky turn. Only 37 seconds separated second, third and fourth place. KwaZulu-Natal-based Clint Gibson and Mike Brown were fifth fastest in the Audi V8-powered Presidium Financial Services Bat, which led this year's event until 100 metres from the finish, but a wrong slot in the pits cost them the win. Nardis Alberts and Colin Hunter qualified sixth and were the leading Class S crew in the Raptor Raceco, which, in the hands of Greg Dowse, won the Toyota 1000 Desert Race in 2002. Archie Rutherford and Evan Hutchinson in the Class S Ruthcon Raceco were 40 seconds slower than arch-rival Alberts. The class has not been well supported this year, so for once, spectators could expect an interesting tussle, albeit only between two contenders. Arnold Pistorius and Vincent Horn were the 8th and the leading Class B qualifiers in the Twin City Raceco. That was a bit of a wake-up call. Marcus Taylor and Mark Deschalane qualified 9th and were only 5.6 seconds slower than Pistorius and Horn. Dani Murray and Andrew Utterson completed the top 10 in the Intelligence Bat, which was one of the first bats built by Brandon Harkis and campaigned by Gary and Bodo Berthold in the 2001 season. The Class A brigade dominated the top placings, with the two Class S contenders well positioned in 6th and 7th place. The Class B contingent gave a good account of themselves, and the scene was set for some great racing in the special vehicle category.